Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global TV. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Edikan Michael. President Bola Tinubu has signed the National Student Loan Amendment Bill into law. The President signed the bill in a short ceremony at the State House in the presence of President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibril, Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, Minister of State for Education, Hannatu Moswawa, the Minister of State for Youth, Ayodele, President of National Association of Nigerian Students, as well as all the government officials and aides to the President. Kiko Lemokere tells us more.
President Tinubu initially signed the student loan bill into law back in June 2023 to offer financial assistance to Nigerian students in tertiary institutions. While the bill was signed earlier, its implementation has faced delay due to various issues hindering its rollout. Speaking afterwards, the President thanked members of the National Assembly for their expeditious handling of this bill, considering the children of Nigeria that education is the tool to fight against poverty effectively.
I've just signed a bill proclaiming the student loan effectively. First of all, I must thank the members of the National Assembly for their expeditious handling of this bill, considering the children of Nigeria, that education is the tool to fight against poverty effectively.
The new legislation repealed the previous Student Loan Access to Higher Education Act of 2023 and reenacts the Student Loan Access to Higher Education Bill for 2024. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The Lagos State Traffic Management Authority has warned motorists to observe speed limits when traveling along the extensive section of the newly repaired Third Mainland Bridge. This was disclosed in a statement issued by the agency's spokesperson, Adebayo Taufik. He urged motorists to observe all traffic signs and install technological equipment connected to traffic. The Lagos State government had on March 30th announced the planned reopening of the Third Mainland Bridge. Minister of the Federal Capital Authority Administration, Nyesom Wike, has assured residents of the FCT of the delivery of completed infrastructural projects in May 2024. This, it says, has been made possible with President Bola Tinubu's approval of the Appropriation Act, which has aided procurement process. The rest of the report is presented by Kiko Lemokere.
Addressing the media on the inspection tour of some projects in Guzapi and AYE axis, Wike says he cannot enumerate the number of roads and bridges so far, but there are good progress in terms of infrastructure provisions.
First of all, we want to thank Mr. President, who has assented to the Appropriation Act and enabling us to really go in to start procurement process. What you will see will be a revolution in terms of infrastructure. These few months we came in, 1 year, almost 1 year that Mr. President has come in. With this budget, a lot of things will be done, not just on roads, both in health sector and education sector. Just be assured that it will be a revolution of infrastructure in Abuja.
Wike also charged residents to be supportive of the infrastructural provision, which will be cut across education, health, and street lighting of the city.
People should be able to commend government when there are improvements. I didn't say here that we are going to concentrate only on the roads. We are saying we are going to dwell on the health sector and education sector. And even agriculture, in terms of education, there are a few ways. We're flagged up about the renovation of 19 schools. And I just said that we are going to take on 21 schools again under the 2024 budget. These people know. It's just that some Nigerians find it difficult to accept the reality of ground, that yes, things have changed. And when you do that, you see that those who are working will give in their best.
The administration is hopeful that with the pace of work by the contractors, the city will soon wear a new look, giving the people the dividend of democracy. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The Code of Conduct Tribunal has suspended the chairman of the Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission, Moji Magaji, following allegations of misconduct and breaches of public officers' conduct. Magaji, who is facing charges ranging from alleged conflict of interest to false assets declaration and accepting bribes, was arraigned in Abuja. The CCT granted a motion for his suspension, directing him to step aside from his position pending the resolution of the case. In order to further strengthen the reporting system of discrimination against persons with disabilities at airports, the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, in partnership with the Center for Ability Rehabilitation and Empowerment, CARE, is establishing disability decks to address issues of discrimination emanating from air travels. Our correspondent Fauzia Lekman tells us more.
The National Commission for Persons with Disabilities have approved the deployment of its commission staff for disability decks at local and international airports across the country for easier access to persons with disabilities, while handling over some assistance devices and operational guidelines for aviation accessibility project for persons with disabilities. Founder of the Center for Ability Rehabilitation and Empowerment, Dr. Chike Okogu, appealed to the federal government to establish service decks in all local and international airports, as well as increasing the budgetary allocation for the commission.
Beyond this project, funding is important for the lives of persons with disabilities. Please, Mr. President, we are begging. We persons with disabilities are not beggars, but we are now saying, we're using the word please, sir, in the mid-term budgetary allocation. Can we have at least 1 trillion naira for persons with disabilities? Yes, it is international standards.
Dr. James Lalu, the Executive Secretary, National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, in his response, expressed commitment to deploy manpower that would ensure sustainability of the project.
Based on the powers vested in us to protect the rights and dignity of persons with disabilities, we are going to dig deeper with KFC to find out the root cause of this problem, and we must review all their policies and make sure that they align with the provisions of the law and the regulations that are here in Nigeria for the protection of the rights of persons with disabilities. Today, we are taking over a project by CHEERS where we made the initial commitment for the sustainability of this project. The National Commission for Persons with Disabilities will deploy our personnel into the Nigeria airport to provide the necessary support for persons with disabilities.
The ES further appealed to the airport authority to secure an appropriate space where its staff can train to provide support for easy movement of persons with disability. Fauzia Lukman, Global TV News.
The impeachment investigation panel probing alleged gross misconduct against the Edo State Deputy Governor, Right Honorable Philip Shaibu, has fixed Friday for its final adjournment for Shaibu to defend himself. The head of 7-man panel set up to investigate the allegation, Justice Stephen Omonwa, retired, took the decision when it resumed its sitting on Thursday and the Deputy Governor and its counsel were absent. Omonwa, retired, said that the panel would wait to see if the defendant will open his defense, and thereafter call for the defendants Shaibu absent and they are not represented. The Edo State House of Assembly initiated the impeachment process. The Kogi State Commissioner of Police, Bertrand Onoha, has represented checks worth 39 million naira to the 25 families of deceased officers on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode. This was contained in a statement issued by the command spokesman, SP William Aya. It said that while the CP was presenting the checks, disclosing that the gesture was part of the group life assurance and group personal accident insurance schemes, aimed at improving the welfare of the families of deceased police officers and to also support police officers who became accident victims while carrying out their duty. The CP said that the gesture was also to encourage other officers in active service to be diligent. President Bola Tinubu has pledged his support for a proposal for the direct election of members into the Parliament of the Economic Community of West African State, ECOWAS. The chairman of ECOWAS stated this when he swore in 97 members in the 6th ECOWAS Parliament at the International Conference Center in Abuja. The Parliament is composed of 115 seats. Each member state has guaranteed minimum of 5 seats, while the remaining 40 seats are shared based on population. They include 35 members from Nigeria, and 5 each from the Benin Republic, Cape Verde, the Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Togo. Others include 8 members from Ghana, 7 from Cote d'Ivoire, and 6 each from Senegal and Guinea, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have no representative in the 6th parliament, as the state have expressed their intention to exit the bloc. You're watching News Cycle, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, on StarTimes Channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using our Global TV NG and other handles now shown on the screen. When News Cycle returns, $30 supply pushes Naira to 1,262 to $1. These and other stories coming right after this break. Stay with us. This is Global Television bringing live broadcast of News Cycle. Many time for staying with us. On the foreign scene, rescuers in Taiwan are working to reach more than 600 stranded people a day after the island experienced its worst earthquake in 25 years. One survivor has recounted how tremors unleashed rock slides like bullets around the coal mine. It was walking at about 7.4 magnitude earthquake hit near the eastern country of Alien, killing 9 and injuring more than 1,000. Some stuck in tunnels and near the national park have been rescued by helicopters, but 34 are still missing. The official number of people trapped or stranded rose considerably from about 100 to 660 as people started getting phone signal back in the mountainous regions. Almost all guests and staff of a remote hotel who cannot leave because of damaged roads. Officials are now trying to work out the best way to get them out. And in business, the Naira continued its gain against the United States dollars, appreciating both of the official foreign exchange and payroll markets to the delight of many Nigerians. At the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market, the Naira gained 1.26% as its dollar was quoted at 1,262.85 Naira to a dollar, stronger than the 1,278.58. Data from the Security Exchange indicates that this means that the local currency as steady dollar supply pushes Naira to 1,262 to a dollar, which continues its positive streak against the green with expectations of further appreciation. The appreciation of the local currency was attributed to the several foreign exchange policies implemented by the Central Bank of Nigeria to boost dollar supply and exchange transparency in the forex market. Manufacturers and organized labor have kicked against the federal government 240% hike in the tariff payable by the electricity users enjoying a 20-hour power supply. They insisted on the electricity subsidy, warning that its removal will send manufacturers out of business and worsen inflation. The subsidy on electricity have been withdrawn completely from the tariff payable by power consumers in the Band A category, who constitute about 15% of the total number of power users across the country. The government announced a hike in the electricity bill at a press briefing in Abuja, adding that those affected will now pay a tariff of 225 Naira per kilowatt an hour, up from the previous rate of 68 Naira to kilowatts, representing at about 240% increase. Some communities in Abuja, Lagos, and Nassau are currently experiencing power outage due to technical glitches. The Ikeja Electricity Distribution Company on Tuesday said that the service disruption was due to significant load restrictions across many of its transmission load centers. According to the power distribution firm, the transmission stations affected include Owerri, Maryland, Ituria, Isolo, Ogba, Alauza, Ajibo, and others. The same time, the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company informed its customers in Nasarawa that they were in darkness after a windstorm brought down transmission lines. A federal high court in Abuja has adjourned the tax evasion case involving Binance Holdings and its executives. The Federal Inland Revenue Service had dragged the firm to court for tax evasion. The IRS also alleged that while it was offering taxable services to subscribers on its trading platform, the company failed to issue invoices to the subscribers for the purposes of determining payment of its value-added taxes. The matter was adjourned following the FIR's inability to serve the charges in EFCC custody. And now, the Nigeria Customs Service says that's generated over 1.3 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2024. The Comptroller General of the Service, Adewale Adeniyi, announced this while addressing journalists in Abuja on the performance of the service, where he stated that the collection for the first quarter represents a substantial increase of 122.35% compared to the same period in the year 2023, which stood at over 6.6 billion naira. Kiko Lomokere was there for Global TV News.
The Comptroller General of Customs rules out that month-by-month analysis further illustrates the service growth trajectory, saying that in January 2024, revenue collection surged by 95.60%, reaching over 390.824 billion naira from over 199.809 billion naira recorded in January 2023. The upward trend continued in February 2024 with a staggering 138.68% growth, elevating revenue collection to over 450.209 billion naira from over 188.62 billion naira in February 2023. By March 2024, the revenue collected by NCS revenue grew by 132.76% from over 217.66 billion naira to over 506.642 billion naira.
Relates this to federal government's annual revenue target of 5.07 trillion for the NCS in 2024. The target translates to a monthly revenue target of 423 billion. We are pleased to report an average monthly revenue growth by 6.2% over the set monthly target and a cumulative revenue collection of 18.6% equivalent to 78,608,972.75 over and above a target of 1.2 trillion for the first quarter.
He further stated that in the first quarter of 2024, the NCS recorded a total of 572 seizures encompassing various items valued at over 10.593 billion naira in duty paid value, adding that January saw 111 seizures amounting to over 842 million naira in duty paid value, while February marked the highest seizure number of 432, totaling over 3.70 billion naira.
As usual, rice constituted about 40% of the seizures, followed by petroleum products at 25%, with motor vehicles and textile accounting for 9% and 6% of the seizures, respectively. During this same period, Customs detained 22 suspects, and appropriate legal measures are being taken in accordance with the Nigerian Customs Service Act 2023.
The Customs Chiefs further reels out some of the challenges encountered during the quarter under review. He says these challenges encompasses issues related to non-compliance with regulations, infrastructure limitation, and a notable decline in cargo, evidenced by 4.89% decrease in the volume of transactions handled. He added that the exchange rate utilized by Customs in the clearance of goods via the Nigerian Integrated Information System is based on the rates determined by Central Bank of Nigeria. In lieu of this, he says the NCS is gearing up to launch the NCS Custom Analytical Laboratory, a critical measure set to take effect in second and third quarter 2024, a specialized facility equipped and advanced analytical instruments and techniques for scientific analysis of goods and materials.
In addition to this, significant fluctuations in exchange rates applied in the customs clearance of consignments posed considerable difficulties to our operations. Leveraging state-of-the-art technology and expertise aided by Customs Analytical Laboratory is expected to enhance our capacity to detect and prevent smuggling, counterfeit goods, and other illicit activities, thereby safeguarding public health.
He reiterated the NCS commitment to support the actualization of the 8-point agenda of President Tinubu-led administration. This commitment is demonstrated through both direct and indirect contribution to key areas such as economic growth, improved security, upholding the rules of law, and fighting corruption. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
No fewer than 15 universities in the United Kingdom have announced plans to sack some workers and even stop running some courses because of the sharp decline in enrollment by foreign students, including Nigerians. The sharp decline in foreign student enrollment was particularly felt at the postgraduate level. The development is also connected to the decision by the United Kingdom government to reduce international students, as some concessions given them at that level have been withheld down. Also, there are concerns too that the high cost of living being experienced globally may negatively affect enrollment of foreign students at the undergraduate level. The volume of dollar traded turnover in the official Nigerian foreign exchange markets increased year on year by 95% to $12.68 billion in the first quarter of the year, the first quarter of 2024 from $6.5 billion. The sharp increase reflects impact of recent measures by the Central Bank of Nigeria to liberalize the forex markets and improve the dollar supplied in the country. Analysis shown of data on daily transaction provided shows that the market recorded turnover of $2.14 billion in January, with increase by 133.6% to $5 billion in February, and up to about 10.8% to $5.54 billion in March. Analysis of transaction in March shows the turnover stood at $296 million the first day of March and $1.15 billion in the second week. And in sports, ahead of the highly anticipated clash between Nigeria and South Africa for a spot at the women's football event of the 2024 Olympics in Paris, a section of fans have expressed concern over the Super Falcons' chances of qualifying for the event following a camp update from the team's social media handle. The two teams, arguably the best women's football squad on the African continent, will face off in a two-legged affair as the battle for one of the two tickets from Africa for the Paris 2024 Olympics women's football event. The first leg of the encounter will take place at the Morshed Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, on Friday, while the return leg is scheduled for the Loftus Versfeld Arena in Pretoria 4 days later. Turkish club Trabzonspor have been ordered to play 6 home matches behind closed doors after violent scenes marred at the league game with rivals last month. The country's football federation said that 2 players, Dutch defender Jadin Oswada and goalkeeper Irfan Khan, were also fined and handed 1-match ban by the disciplinary board. He is punished for kicking a Trabzonspor fan who had run onto the pitch with his face covered. A group of Trabzonspor fans invaded the pitch after the final whistle of the 3-2 home defeat on March 17. That's a package on News Cycle coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes Channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using our Global TV NG and other handles now shown on the screen. I am Edikan Michael. Many thanks for watching. See you again.